Friends. Yeah. Cayce and Monica. Hay Bale Friends. Hay Bale Friends. Hay Bale Friends. Hay and Monica. Hay Bale Friends. Come join the fun. Your new favorite morning show. Let's learn to can and cook and gardening and more. And we do it with friends. Hay Bale and Friends. And Cayce and Monica.
Hey y'all, hey, it's Ann with Dale Homestead.
Hey y'all, it's Cayce over at Ormsby Farm and the Halfway Homestead.
And I'm Monica at Bland's Promised Land Ranch. We're super excited you're here for episode 2 of season 7.
Can you even believe it? Like, even when we start recording, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I cannot believe that we have put up with each other for 7 years.
It's crazy.
And got roped in, and we're not allowing her to leave. So that's the one big thing. But y'all, we're really excited about this episode because this is one of my favorite topics. And that is because I learned it from the leftover queen herself, Miss Monica over at Bland's Promised Land Ranch. And that's canning leftovers with the Nesco electric pressure canner. Now, Monica, did you want to talk a little bit about that? Because we are all affiliates with the wonderful Nesco.
I will. Let me just tell you, we love our Nesco. We all have them and we all use them. The Nesco is super amazing. Now, Cayce uses his for more than just pressure canning. I only use mine for pressure canning, but that's because I might have some other options. But with this Nesco pressure canner, you can not only crock pot your stuff, you can slow cook, you can water bath, you can steam bath, you can pressure cook this stuff. And we love to use our leftovers and pressure can them in our Nesco. We can do anything in our Nesco and we really, truly love it. Now you can scan that code right there and you can go on over to our pages, and we are affiliates with Amazon. So you can go to our Amazon store and we're going to have that Nesco or the Carry, which is basically the same pressure canner, on our affiliate links for Amazon. And when you make a purchase through our Amazon affiliate links, it doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just a way for us to earn a little extra money, and you're clicking the link. So you're going to pay the same price no matter what. Definitely go over there and check it out. We love our Nesco and our Carries, and they are amazing.
Now, before we get into our wonderful, amazing surprise guest, I know I have a Nesco. Monica, you're a Nesco, but Ann, you're a Carry, right?
I do. I have Carry.
I think I know that I have a very detailed Nesco electric pressure canner tutorial on my channel. And I know that Ann has a very detailed one on her Carry. And so if you're thinking I really would like to can my leftovers, but I really don't know how to. I'm scared because I hear a lot of chatter of it's not safe, it's this, it's that. But I want to learn. Go check it out because these are detailed ones. They're very easy to use. And I love mine. I mean, it's my best friend. It sometimes sleeps beside my bed just so I can keep an eye on it. But we have another wonderful special guest this week, and she's coming back for a second week. So basically, we were talking about we're putting up with each other. She's putting up with us for one more week.
Yes.
So who could it be?
Hello, who is this?
Hi, you guys. It's so good to see you again.
Yay, Kris!
So, Kris, do you have an electric pressure canner?
I don't. And the only reason that I don't right now is because until most recently, they're not for high altitude. And I live above 5,500 feet. But I was just researching as you guys had your intro, and Nesco now has a high altitude version of theirs. So guess what I'm getting myself for Christmas this year?
There you go.
And that's the way I see it is I want to make sure, like we talked about, if somebody's not safe, they shouldn't be using it. But because they've made it safe, now I can get it. So, but I do pressure can a lot, you guys. I pressure can on my stove. I've got a big, huge American pressure canner that works with my stove. So I went the whole different route where it's not the electric, but I can do that.
Well,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's talk leftovers, though, because that's one of the big things that we're talking about tonight. Because last week we talked about crock pot recipes, And I will say that I'm really bad at cooking, like I'm a family of 15, and then not really wanting to eat chili for the next 12 days, if you know what I
Right.
mean. And once I figure it out, again, Monica, queen of leftovers, that you can literally put it in a jar with 4-jar canning lids, of course, and pressure can it. You have that shelf stable meal. For a couple years through the winter whenever you need it. The big thing I use it for is my soups and meat sauce if I'm doing spaghetti. Now, I did try noodles this year for the first time, and I will say the macaroni and cheese that I did was very good. But I have tried it where I put the spaghetti in with the meat sauce, and that was an epic fail. Uh, that's not saying it because they're like, "Oh, Casey's turning not into a rebel." No, I'm still a rebel, but it just wasn't good. It was not good. It was like mush.
I
It was
think that might be a trial and error thing though, right? I mean, if you
Right.
successfully did like a mac and cheese noodle and you can that, I think that if you did spaghetti, it may not be leftover noodles that you can use, but you just have to barely cook them or don't cook them at all and go ahead and put
oh,
those dry noodles in with your already made spaghetti sauce and then pressure can that mess. I mean, look, Chef Boyardee can do it. I can do it. Okay.
right. Not
That's
a
what I'm
good
saying.
idea.
If that man figured it out, you better believe this mom was going to. Okay.
Okay, okay, I got you. So,
And do
Chris,
you clear leftovers?
all the time.
yeah,
In
you
fact,
know Miss Ann
I,
does.
I'm telling you, because like you said, you don't know how to cook for not but 15 people. Well, I had, there were 4 of us for a long time, and the 2 kids brought all the neighborhood. So, and Worth came from a family of 7. So when we cook, we cook. And, after the 3rd day, it's like fish and guest. It smells, and you don't want to eat the same thing anymore. So I put it in, I put it in the canner, in a jar, put it in the jar, which makes me happy. And now I even make a little extra so that I can have some canned goods, which is wonderful. I have some hamburger soup that I made up that is all ready to go. This stuff is delicious. And I made some hamburger soup. I've got spaghetti sauce that is ready to go. There's even, when someone gives you or you harvest a deer, then they come in big pieces. And Worth and I can't eat, a whole thing of deer ourselves, but you can can it. So that's what I did for deer roast and things like we have made. I've been able to can those things. My Carry pressure canner. I know it's electric and everybody calls it cheating, but it's not. And it has been tested, y'all, just not by USDA. USDA just ran out of money, so they haven't tested it yet. But it's been tested by other things. The thing is, it makes it so simple. You make sure your jars are clean. You still go through all the cleanliness. You put it in your jars, can those leftovers, and then I can go grocery shopping right in my storage unit. So that makes it really nice. So, what have you stored or canned or done recently, Miss Kris?
Nothing recently. Like I said, I'm coming off county fair right now. I'm coming off fair for our business. So I've kind of avoided, but that's where the good parts come in is anything that I did can last season that we haven't eaten. That's been meals for us right now. So
There
it
you
makes
go.
it a whole lot easier. I know you guys just watched the crock pot one, and I do a lot of stuff in my crock pot, in my roaster oven, even in my pressure cooker, have it all pre-done and get it ready. I mean, this is beef that I just pulled out of our cabinet from 523. And this is something that I'll put over potatoes for the kids, and it's already made and it's super simple. But
That's right.
we raise a lot of our own meat. So when I do have a steer that we have butchered and we do the big old roasts off of that, we'll cook them or we'll pack it raw and have all this meat ready for us. But a lot of times I'll make a pot roast. I'm getting used to cooking for a lot less now. And that's, we talked about that. We started out with 10 of us, and then we
Yeah.
in-law children, and now everybody is dispersed, and I have 3 of us in that role, Larry and I plus 3 kids left in the house. So I'm cooking for half what I did before.
Right.
But I'm not, because I know me and I just continue to cook like I've got 55 people here.
There you go.
That's my big thing is we'll make one meal. Larry will take it to lunch the next morning, and everything else we either put through our freeze dryer or through our canner. And that's what our normal is, especially in the fall, in the winter time, when everything is, soups and big pots of things, and you want all that comfort food warm. You just can it up, and you make it work. So this is an Italian soup, you guys, that's got let me think here. It's got spinach in it, it's got potatoes in it, and it's got ground sausage, and that's literally everything that is in it. And so super easy. I do this by the pot full, and we're talking, I have a stock pot, and a lot of times I even cook my soups on my stove, my fireplace stove, because I have a wood stove with burners on the top, and I'll let it simmer all day. And then the next day we get into canning, and I'll can this up. And like I said, Larry will take a bowl of this to work, and while all of his employees are eating cold sandwiches, he's got warm soup to eat. So that's what we do.
There you go. Well, I'm sorry, Monica.
No, you're good.
No, I was just going to share that you will really want one of these electric canners, girl, because it makes it so simple when you do have leftover taco meat left over, anything that you might have left over. It's not a big deal. You have an American pressure canner, which is wonderful, but that thing is heavy, and it's a lot. It's a commitment.
It is. And you're canning a lot of jars when you're doing those, because you don't want that extra space. You don't want, it's a good size. It takes up 2 burners on my stove. Yeah. So when I do that, it's a full-fledged all-day event. And so this electric canner, I'm definitely, like I said, I think that's going to be my Christmas present from Tall Man himself. So
you could put 1 jar in there.
Perfect.
And it literally, it does. You get to the point, we all say that we all peer pressured each other to buy it. So that's what we're doing to you.
True.
But it literally is like you put it in there and you can forget about it. Now there is that, moment of the E10 to E0, the 10 like you're venting, but after that, it shuts itself off. That's does awesome. Everything. You can go to bed and wake up the next morning, I have 3 jars of chili in my pressure canner that I got to take out. They've sealed, they've stayed warm in there. It's just probably the best thing ever invented for a busy homesteader.
Even the countdown, once it counts down, it beeps at you. So if you're in the next room, you still come running, because it says, "Okay, dummy, time to flip the switch."
Feel me.
Okay, now speaking of canning, if we're canning leftovers, for those who don't know, or those who are just like mind blown at this point, right? You're just like, what in the world? I can can my leftovers. Let's just say we have a soup like Kris made, and she's got like spinach, and she's got all the stuff in it. She's also got meat in it. So now how does she can it? Like, how do you know what time to can it? Because you've got vegetables and you've got meat and you've got all this. So what do? Well, if you're canning quart jars, you're going to can for the longest item, right? The item that in there that would normally can for the longest. So you're going to look at the meat first, right? So she's going to can that soup or that whatever that is for the sausage that's in there, right? So even though it's already been cooked, you're going to still pressure can that for the time that sausage needs to pressure can. So keep that in mind when you're canning these leftovers, because which will be 90 minutes for the quarts and 75 minutes for those smaller jars, right? The pints. So like, for instance, I did pot roast and carrots. I have a pot roast and carrots in my 4 jars lid, boom, from 2023. And it's got the potatoes in it. I just put it was a pot roast of potatoes and carrots. So my carrots and potatoes were already cooked. They may be a little done by the time I get this opened again, but I will say they're not actually too bad. When I do my pot roast, there's a lot of times where it's done, but it's not like, I mean, they're done. Sometimes I'll actually pull some of the carrots and potatoes to the side before they're completely finished. And then I'll actually put them in a little separate so I can can some of these for my husband. Because when Eric is trying to eat clean, because my kids will take this pot roast with potatoes and carrots and they'll eat it with other stuff, right? They'll have some bread with some butter or whatever. Eric won't. And so a lot of times I'll take these small jars, and I do small jars a lot of times for my kids and for Eric, because they'll take these to work. Like Kris was saying, he'll take this to work and this will be his lunch. It's 2 cups. He knows what he's getting when he gets this. He doesn't eat spaghetti noodles. So he eats spaghetti sauce. I think everybody's got some spaghetti and meat sauce, and he'll take this thick spaghetti and meat sauce with a lot of that beef that we grow. And he'll just take this and put it out and put mozzarella cheese on top and eat it like it's a soup almost. Right. But for him, it's a quick and easy heat up. You just pop the top off, put it in a bowl, and you've got it for work when you don't have to worry about going out and buying Chick-fil-A or whatever else is available and spending that money. So, not only is it better for busy nights, things when you're busy for school or whatever it is, but it's really a time saver and a money saver in the end when you're looking for those meals for lunches. I mean, Kris said it the best. When Larry's looking for a good meal, he's got something that's a homemade meal that's hot. And it's not a sandwich packed, haphazardly before you go to work.
That's right.
So, yeah. But that's the thing, too. Just remember how long to can it.
Right.
And there's a lot of tips and tricks, that you can do. Like, for instance, we make a lot of homemade ramen. So I will keep my noodles separate, and I will just can up the ramen juice. Ramen noodles cook super fast. So if he's microwaving, because that's what he has to do at work, he can throw his noodles in the bottom, put his soup on top, microwave it for whatever minutes. Once that gets to a boil, the ramen noodles will just soak up everything. And so they'll be completely done. So you don't have to have the noodles in there. You can do this as like your spaghetti sauce, your bases of things that you're going to add to other items. It does not have to be all the leftovers that you have that day. It can be the portions of them and make that where it makes life a whole lot easier. And you can, go ahead and get that, ready for the next meal. So for instance, like I said, this is just beef. That's all this is a roast that I cut up. That juice is all from the meat. It is nothing else in here but a pinch of salt and my meat. And I will, I'll sit and eat this just for lunch and open that jar up, and it's good cold on top of everything else. I mean, I would love it more warm, but you can eat that right out of the jar and there's no problems. And this is just leftovers. This is exactly what we're talking about today. I cooked for 15 and I had 3 of us here that night. So I had a lot of roast left over. And this is the way to do it. I mean, Berlin is living next door with my mom right now, and he will come over and raid my cabinet because if I don't have butchered chickens, I buy 40 pounds of chicken breasts at a time, and I'll can all of that. And he comes over and makes chicken salad sandwiches because he's 19 and that's what you do.
That's right.
So, raid Mama's kitchen.
That's the thing too. If you're looking at quick, easy grabs, but also what about certain meals? If you're eating like we've talked about in past episodes, if maybe you're eating keto or carnivore, or maybe you have to cut out stuff because you're diabetic, whatever it is, if you've got your home cooked food already portioned and controlled, now you not only have portion control, but you have salt control. You have control of the sugar content. You have control of everything that's in it because it's something you already made. And it's one of those things. I will tell you, my dad doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm going to say it. It burns my britches when he goes to the local Wally World and he gets himself those ready-made meals that I know have a ton of salt in them. And this man had a heart attack 8 years ago. And I'm like, bruh, you are just killing yourself. Stop with the salt, my father. Stop it. So I am looking at ways that I can help him eat healthier. And bless his sweetheart, I gave him some taco meat in a little jar like this. And I said, Dad, I'm going to give you some beef taco meat. You can just pull it out and make yourself some like tacos or whatever. And he said, okay. I went over to his house a few days later and it was in the refrigerator. I said, did you open the meat already? He said, no. I said, well, you can put it in your pantry. He said, no, it's meat. I said, it's shelf stable. Put it in your pantry. What? Yeah. It's shelf stable, Dad. Put it in your pantry. I canned it. Oh, he didn't know that. And he was like, I said, I told you put it in your pantry. But so many people don't know how easy it is to have your own clean, good quality meals, meat, potatoes, vegetable, whatever it is, put it
That's
in
right.
your pantry and have it ready so that you don't have to go over to the local whatever and get all that stuff that's filled with all the junk that's going to just slowly kill you.
Well,
So
speaking of the junk, I mean, you talk to anybody that talks about soup over the winter, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the chunky,
yes,
what is it called? The chunky that the football players push.
the Campbell's chunky.
Campbell's. There we go. The Campbell's chunky. It if you sit there and just flip it around and just if you cannot pronounce the first 4 words that are under the ingredients, you
Do not
should
buy
not be getting it. It's probably a sign. Now listen, me and spelling anyways are not the best of friends, but even I know that when the first things like chicken broth, that's probably going to be decent for
Yeah.
myself and for my animals. I look at all that for my animals. When I
Mhm.
do leftovers, I do leftovers for my dogs too.
Yes.
They
Okay.
eat just like us. And
Gotcha.
you can can your sweet potato, your scrambled eggs. I know that's rebel. Don't come for me in the comments. And the chicken, and you mix it all together. And I pack it in a jelly jar and pressure can it for the 75 minutes. And that's dog food right there. You pop it,
Absolutely.
scoop it out. It's healthy. I know where it comes from. I know everything that went into it.
Mhm.
And when Kris was talking about the meats, I go, if I'm in a grocery store for meat, most of the time I'm not because either I buy it from a friend or I have raised meat in the past. If
Mhm.
I see like chicken legs that are 40 for like $5,
Yeah.
just believe you'll back.
Yeah.
He is buying that, and I'm going home and I'm putting 3 chicken legs in a quart jar and
Mhm.
cooking it because that is so good for casseroles over the holiday season.
Oh yeah.
Said chicken salad, it pulls right off the bone, and then you can shred it. Chicken salad, you can add it
Mhm.
to soup. It is so convenient. Leftovers is not only like cool and popular because you've canned leftovers because Kris, Casey, Monica, and Ann said it on the podcast. It is actually very, very convenient. We talk
It
about
is.
convenient food all the time. This is convenient food. It is popping it open when it's a busy day of homeschooling or homesteading or
Mhm.
just Christmas shopping, holiday shopping. Pop it
Mhm.
open and you have dinner literally within moments. So,
Yeah.
That's
You know,
right.
go ahead, Ann.
No, I was just saying that when you think of convenience, when I used to think of convenience, I would go through the can section of the grocery store.
Mhm.
And this is the same thing, but so much tastier and healthier for us.
Yeah.
So,
My favorite thing right now to can of leftovers is I put about 40 or 50 bratwurst style sausages in my smoker, and we'll eat that for dinner. Like I said, Larry will take it to work. I'll come back in and chop up the rest of them, put them in a jar, and I'm actually out. I was digging through my cabinet before. That just means all the kids are liking it too. But I will chop up the sausages into little medallions and fill up the jars and put a little bit of beef broth or homemade pork broth in there and can those up. And then we have that where they can either heat it, drain it, however they want to use it, or throw it with, mashed potatoes or noodles and have something else. I actually will heat it up and throw it over a salad if I am feeling that greens that I need. So I still have all the protein. I don't know if we even touch base there. I'm eating carnivore. So meat is my key right now.
yeah.
But I will smoke as many sausages as I can fit in my smoker, and I won't cook them quite all the way. The ones I'm going to can, I will have that smoke ring around the outside where they're a little bit, shriveled. But when you slice it up, they'll still have that pink center so that they're not overcooked when I do this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We've got a package of smoked sausage in the refrigerator right now that I was thinking, we got to eat that stuff. But because it needs to be gone.
Mhm.
And why I didn't even think about being able to can it. And so that's fantastic. I'll
Yeah.
have
There's
more
so
food.
many things that are in your freezer that you can put in your pantry. And you just think about ways to do it every season. Like Kris will know, anytime you're getting ready to to process a beef or a pork, anytime you're getting ready to process that, you've got to empty what you've got in there, right? If maybe it's hunting season, you're going out for the deer, whatever it is, you've got to get rid of your old stuff. And so a lot of times that's what I'll do is I'll make a meal with some of it and then can the rest of it. And if I can get that put up into my pantry, it's better. So I think somebody, I don't know, maybe I heard it from you, Kris, or somewhere years ago, somebody took sausages like the Link sausage. Now ours don't have any casing on theirs. Our pork sausage don't have any casing. And they said they put sausage in their in their cans. Well, I took my wide mouth quart jars, I pulled them out of the package, put them in there raw. They're still raw, put them in there standing up and popped the top one and went and pressure canned them just as is. These, thick sausage links. They're kind of like, I don't know. They're not kielbasa's or anything. They're just regular sausages, like, Italian sausage. People will crumble them and break them, but they're thicker. We eat them with a little bit of mustard and onions and peppers. Well, when they're already in a quart jar, Eric can pop that top, pull one out or two out for lunch, make up some fresh onions if he really wants or whatever, and we're good to go. And I may have made some French onion soup that didn't really work out, and it was really basic, and it was a lot of onions that ended up being in basically water. And so we've actually pulled them, dumped them in the skillet a few weeks ago, cooked them all up again, a little bit of that juice down, and we use that with our sausages. So we were able to use what we had in the pantry, and I'm telling you what, it was great.
Yum.
So
it really excites me to can leftovers. Like, it gets me kind of like wanting to dance on the camera a little bit. Have any of y'all, now I know this is also very rebel, so you don't have to answer if you don't want to, because we are all influencers and I know how it is. But I have started to conveniently have hard-boiled eggs, is I can eggs in the shell, pressure canning eggs.
What?
Anybody ever done that?
No.
No.
I want to.
I mean, concept-wise, that's a pickled egg. You have to look at it from that standpoint. You're just not pickling it. It's the same thing. And you absolutely can. I mean, there is no reason not to.
It's so easy, y'all. And I did it for a video that's coming out. And I tasted it, and it tastes really good. I will say the only thing that I've noticed is the little bit of the green around the yolk, but it tasted just the same. It's a little bit of it looks a little bit greenish.
Like
but it's
gray,
good. Great greenish, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you wash your eggs, because you can even do this with store-bought eggs. Now, we don't recommend that because farm fresh eggs just taste better. But washed eggs, I'm putting it in a quart jar. I'm filling it up with room temperature water. Some people say
Raw eggs? Raw
eggs in the shell, Miss Ann.
Okay.
What you're about to put in a carton in the fridge.
Okay.
I put room temperature water, y'all. Fill it up, and I pressure can it on low. The Nesco low one. Everybody's always wondered, what is the low for? Low is if you're doing 5 pounds. Well, 6 to 10 pounds of pressure is supposed to be the low. I do it for 5 pounds of pressure for 5 minutes, and it is hard boiled inside of that boiling water.
Amazing.
Shelf stable. So you can pop it out. It feels beautifully. Feels beautifully. So much easier. And then you're talking egg salad. You're talking hard-boiled eggs. I've done it with deviled eggs, y'all.
Get out of here.
The color's a little bit off. I will say, because I know people are going to come back and be like, Cayce, you said it was wonderful, and there's green around the yolk. There is a little bit of green. There is no taste difference. It's just because you hard-boiled it a little bit too much. You hard-boiled her a little too much. Just don't hard-boil her.
See, now you got me thinking, because we have quail eggs all the time, and my kids love pickled quail eggs. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if we can pressure can the little quail eggs and have little bite size. Makes me wonder. See, that's amazing. Because that's what I will hard boil those and put those on a salad or on with some meat to have that extra protein boost. And I'm thinking, that might be a snack.
Yeah, I would love to have hard boiled eggs on the ready so that Eric will, because he eats a lot of salad, and he's always like, do we have any hard boiled eggs? And I'm like, no, bro, I didn't hard boil one egg for your salad, because he eats duck eggs. So I'm always like hesitant to just boil a couple of his duck eggs unless we're not going to use all of them. I'm like, no, I want you to, like eat like 3 of them at a time, not like just one. So this
Right.
is really wild. I could do them in the small jars, right?
I'm
Mhm.
telling you,
Yeah.
I only had to do like 3.
Right.
one guy, the guy that I watched, because our old co-host Cayce from Boots and Bounty is where I found out the recipe. And y'all know I love her, so I trust anything that she does. One of the guys that she pushed did an egg, a single egg, 1 egg in a jelly jar, pressure canned.
Oh, okay.
See, I could do
so
that.
Ready.
With our Nesco, it's not a big deal. And how many minutes again?
5 minutes, 5 pressure,
On
5.
low.
On low.
Oh my gosh, I'm
I've never
literally gonna
used
try
the
that
low
tonight.
setting before. Never used the low setting.
Well, I never have until this one. And
I'm
that's
trying that.
Monica looks totally mind blown. I'm just watching her face.
am.
And
I am literally
I
going to
know.
go hard boil an egg in my pressure, 1 egg in my pressure canner before I go on my walk. And when I come back,
it out.
Yeah, that's all right. There you go.
you
Well,
guys are
thank
totally, I am totally getting a Nesco.
see,
you.
peer
Yeah,
pressure works
okay, it's done.
again.
It's done. Yeah, scan that barcode.
Get it. Go
Or
order it, guys.
QR code.
You know, I'm just gonna scam while we're here. I want everybody who's watching this to scan this. If I'm gonna do this during the video, then they can do it too.
Yeah.
See?
That's exactly right.
So
That's
that's
exactly
where I'm
right.
at. All right,
There
guys.
you go.
There
That
it is.
sounds wonderful. Well, unfortunately, we have reached our 30-minute time frame, you guys, and we so appreciate you, Kris from chrisandlarry.com. Please check her out on her website and on her YouTube channel. That will have her website information. And we just are, my mind is blown. I mean, I'm ready to say goodnight to everybody, but I am so thrilled about all these new ideas that I have. They're just popping out of my brain. But we really appreciate you. Be sure and check us out on Tuesday evenings where we have a live that we're able to talk about this and find out your responses and the things that you can that are leftovers. Or you might have questions. How do you can this as a leftover? All right. We love you all and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye
Love you
now.
guys. Bye.